Okay, on this video, I am going to start by going over numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 because I want to make sure that you know how to enter these in EdSite. So, number 3. The variables x and y vary inversely. When you see the phrase vary inversely, that means we have this function going on. Y equals k divided by x. Then it tells you y is 4 when x is 5. So figure out what k is. We'd multiply both sides by 5. Our k value is 20. Notice in this answer space, it doesn't ask what is k. It doesn't ask what is the constant of variation. It says write an equation relating x and y. They want you to put this 20 into the equation, and this is what you need to enter. Y equals 20 divided by x. So over here in this little field, it doesn't look big enough, but this field will expand as you enter things in there. Y equals 20 divided by x. And it will make that little division thing, the fraction, so that it looks like that equation is supposed to be. So make sure you note that. On the inverse variation problems, you're going to have to type in the actual equation with the 20 in there. If you type in 4 equals 20 divided by 5, if you type in y equals 20 divided by 4, that's not going to work. It has to be y equals 20 divided by x. The x and the y need to be in there, and the 20 needs to be in there. Part 2, find y when x equals 4. That's where you plug that 4 value in. What is 20 divided by 4? 5. Okay, our next problem. Okay, this one on the review, the wording is a little bit funky, but I'll make sure that's fixed on the quiz. But the phrase that I'm really focusing on is y varies inversely with the square of x. Anytime you see with the square of x, that means there's something a little bit different. So it says varies inversely, so we've got this inverse variation situation, but it's with the square of x. So it's y equals k divided by x squared. Then it tells us y is 6 when x is 2. 2 squared is 4. Multiply both sides by 4. Our k value is 24. Now, once again, it's not asking you what is k. It's asking you for an equation that relates x and y. So you need to type in y equals 24 divided by x squared. You can do squared by typing Shift 6 on your keyboard. That's where the little caret is. Or down here below, there is a button, this one right here, that has the little exponent thing. You can click that to type in your square. The nice thing about this is that it should make your equation look like what you're intending it to look like. So if it doesn't look right, come ask me for help because something must be up. Then it says find y when x equals 4. So you're using that equation. If x is 4, what is 4 squared? 4 squared is 16, and 24 divided by 16 is 1.5. Okay. Identify the vertical, horizontal asymptote, state the domain and the range. So this is the one that I definitely want you to see how you need to enter this. This is a type 1. So notice there's not x's on the top and the bottom. There's only x's on the bottom. The vertical asymptote is the same no matter which type. So what is the vertical asymptote here? X equals -6. And notice the x equals is already there. You just have to type in the -6. The horizontal asymptote is whatever is being added or subtracted after that fraction. So our horizontal asymptote is -3. Y equals -3. You just have to type in the -3. So what is the domain for this function? X can't equal -6. The can't equal -6 is the part that you need to type in. So if you look to the right of here, there's a bunch of buttons, and one of those buttons is a not equal to. So inside the domain, I'm trying to get this bigger on your screen. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger on your screen. So when you're typing in that domain, you need to type in the cannot equal and then -6. For the range, type in that does not equal to symbol, -3. Number 6 is the same, but it's the type 2 with the X's on the top and the bottom. So vertical asymptote is always what makes the bottom equal 0. That would be 4. And when there's X's on the top and the bottom, the horizontal asymptote is the numbers in front of the X. So we've got 5 divided by 1, so our horizontal asymptote is at 5. This means our domain is X can't equal 4. The range is Y can't equal 5. While we're doing hyperbolas, here's a type 1 hyperbola. You need to identify the domain, or identify the vertical and horizontal asymptote, and then pick the graph. So this one has a vertical asymptote at +3. So not going to be the top two, because these top two have vertical asymptotes at -3, so those are out. The bottom two have vertical asymptotes at +3. So does the horizontal asymptote need to be +1 or -1? Look at your equation. -1, so that is our correct answer. The next one is a type 2, and the denominator is a little bit funky, 2x plus 4. So you have to do 2x plus 4 equals 0, subtract 4 on both sides, divide by 2. Our vertical asymptote should be at -2. So definitely not that first one, not that one. Look at these bottom two. They both have negative vertical asymptotes. One of them is at -4, the other is at -2. So you need to know that it's supposed to be at -2. That's going to be your correct answer. On this one, you actually don't even have to find the horizontal asymptote to get the correct answer. All right, now let's go back to the first problems that I have not yet answered. Okay, this is this direct variation, inverse variation, or neither? And remember that you can use your notes to help you with this. So with the equations, if there's a plus something, it's neither. XY equals 9. If you divide both sides by x, you get y equals 9 divided by x. Remember in that table that I had you make in your notes, if it looks like something divided by x, that is inverse variation. So this one is inverse. And can you figure out what the last one's going to be just by process of elimination? It's probably going to be direct, but 2y equals 8x. If you divide both sides by 2, you get y equals 4x. And something times x with nothing else in there is direct variation. The next problem is, do the tables show direct, inverse, or neither? And again, if you look at the board or look at your notes where I had you write the looks like and check for table, when you're checking a table, if you do y divided by x and you get the same number every time, then it is direct variation. If you do x times y and you get the same number every time, then it's inverse variation. So in A, I did 4.5 divided by 2, 6.75 divided by 3, 4 divided by 9. Every time I got 2.25, so that one is direct variation. In example B, I did 17 divided by 4, and I got 4.25. I did 20 divided by 5, and I got 4. So when I was dividing, I did not get the same numbers. Then I did 4 times 17 and got 68. 5 times 20, 100. So when I multiplied, I did not get the same numbers. That means it is neither. You can probably then, from just process of elimination, figure out that the last one's going to be inverse, but yeah. If you do 12 divided by 2, you get 6. 8 divided by 3 is not 6, so it's not direct variation. 12 times 2 is 24. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 4.8 is 24. And if multiplication gives you the same number, then it is inverse variation. All right, I think I've answered all the questions now. All right.